Okay, good afternoon. My name is Christopher Clark. I'm the town administrator of the town of Harwich. It's my unique opportunity and pleasure to be able to present today the formal ribbon cutting for the acceptance of the solar panel project here on our former landfill. The town of Harwich has wanted to promote and install large-scale and alternate energy sources since 2002 to offset town energy usage costs. The landfill will host almost 16,000 modules. It was constructed by American Capital Energy, financed by Clean Focus. The project savings for the first year is expected to be just over $300,000. After 20 years, the projected savings is almost $9 million. The panels were activated and powered up on August 15th of this past year. In order to have this day come to where we are, it took a lot of people. So to my right, I have several honored guests, and I will introduce each one to say a few words. The first is Selectman Peter Hughes, who really was one of the main champions of this effort in representing the Board of Selectmen on this initiative. Peter?
Thanks, Chris. Thank you all for coming. It's a great day in the town of Harwich, and by the way, who says the sun isn't shining on the town of Harwich? This is such a perfect day for this project, if you will. And I ask, when's the last time any of us attended a ribbon cutting ceremony where there was actually going to be a positive revenue stream for the town? This is unbelievable. You know, we took something that was a capped landfill that, you know, back in the late 90s, we said, what do we do with this thing? And we talked about putting a golf course. We talked about having athletic fields. We talked about a number of things. We even, you know, talked for a while about is there enough methane to do something here to generate some electricity. And along came this opportunity to have 4+ megawatts of power on this site. This will be up and running for at least 20 years, and the taxpayers in the town of Harwich will benefit from that greatly. So I think it's a very good, ideal application for this particular facility. As Chris said, this project is expected to generate over $300,000 in revenue every year. Board of Selectmen likes that, the Finance Committee likes it even more, and I think the taxpayers will like it even more than that. Along the way, I will say that the Board of Selectmen, because this project did take a bit of time to develop, I was questioning when we were here for the groundbreaking. It seems like 2 years ago or so now. It took a while. We came through those obstacles, but I'm proud to say that my board, with some coaching, learn the difference between energy and power. That's kilowatt hours and kilowatts for those of you sitting out there, or megawatt hours and megawatts along the way. It's an important distinction, and I think we all understand it now. And when Chris Clark arrived early this year, one of the first questions that was posed to him by the Board of Selectmen, when is that system going to be connected? When are we going to turn it on? And you know, Chris, to his credit, has been dogging the project participants, including NSTAR, for the interconnect and whatnot, and through his efforts and the efforts of those folks in Town Hall and many others, we got this done. So I think after, you know, a lot of delays, we're here to celebrate the fact that we have this wonderful multi-megawatt solar facility here. I think it puts Harwich on the map for being a green community, if you will. We have other facilities in town that make use of solar, the elementary school, the police facility, and whatnot. But I think we should all be proud of this. And you know, as people come here, they ask questions, they see the sign. It's a wonderful thing. People are very excited about this project, particularly when they know that the town, in essence, didn't put any money into it. In other words, it didn't put any taxpayer money at work, and we get the benefit of significant revenue stream over the years. So thank you all who participated in this project, and let's hope it delivers the way we think it will. Thank you very much.
Like in any partnership, it takes several different people to make things work. So my next speaker that I'd like to invite up is Barry Worth, who is the chairman of the Utility and Energy Conservation Commission of Harwich. Barry?
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, this is something I've been waiting for only for 12 years at this point. And this gentleman that just was on the podium here, he was the guy who instigated, he was the first one who sat our energy committee down 12 years ago, 2002. He said, we'd like to investigate a way to get some renewable energy in Harwich. We don't want to build it. We don't want to maintain it. What we want to do is make some money from it. And we looked at him in a little bit of wonder. And 12 years later, here we are. We didn't build it. We don't have to maintain it. But we're going to get a tremendous benefit, as Peter indicated. My committee has been around for a long time. The current members, I'd like to at least identify Valerie Bell, Terry Hayden, who's here, Bill Dougherty. I'm going to keep giving Larry Cole the benefit of being a member of our utility committee, even though he's on his way out now. But the other we worked with and put together a plan. We started out and we spent a lot of time and a lot of CVEC money on a couple wind turbines that were not approved by the town. And then from there we were asked whether there was some way that we could apply for CVEC to be involved in an electric co-op in a solar program. CVEC had just initiated and asked for towns that were interested in trying to be part of it. We signed up right away, and that's one of the reasons we were part of phase one of getting this program underway. I don't know that we could continue that or be able to say it's all over without saying that I personally would like to thank every one of the people who have been part of it, members of the township. I also want to acknowledge boards of selectmen. Every board of selectmen from 2002 until now has been fully supportive of this project, and it's the reason, I think, the reason that it's really done at this point. There isn't much more that's part of it. Larry has some more numbers, and he's dressed better than I am. But thank you to everybody who assisted us, and let's hope that we really have something going for the town. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. I do want to just announce that also that we do have, I think, every member of the Board of Selectmen here today, which I think just pays tribute to the significance of this event, as well as a representative from Senator Wolf's office. So I just want to acknowledge that we do have a good turnout today. The next person I'd like to invite up to speak is Larry Cole.
If you're wondering why I'm dressed up, it's not because I'm going to a funeral. I thought I would look respectable because I'm going to rain on somebody's parade a little bit. As Barry pointed out, the Utility and Energy Conservation Commission, under his chairmanship, has been functioning with my membership and that of several others since 1998. It's been a privilege and a pleasure for me to work with Barry. Barry is the kind of fundamentally decent, civic-minded citizen that this town needs to staff some 60 voluntary committees that augment local government, and that you so frequently have a hard time filling. Most important is that we have been functioning in a background during which dramatic change has been happening in the energy realm, including the deregulation of electricity production in Massachusetts, a lot of technological change that has enabled the solar, photovoltaic, and wind turbine industries to grow, and a dramatic change in thinking about energy, a focus on conservation rather than using ever and more energy per unit of output to replace human and animal labor. And of course that came about because of the oil embargoes in 1973 and again in 1979, and because of concerns about the rate at which we're adding CO2 to the atmosphere. Now, the deregulation of electricity production in Massachusetts went into effect in 1998, thereabouts. It permitted the formation of municipal aggregators, which is why the Cape Light Compact came about. It permitted the formation of energy co-ops, which is what CVEC is. Think of CVEC as the production arm of the Cape Light Compact. The compact is limited to purchasing in third-party power markets. It can't purchase in the same wholesale markets that the distribution companies like NSTAR can. So the next cheapest way to get power is to produce it yourself, or through arrangements like this. Some people see a conflict of interest between the compact and CVEC. It's preposterous. So there's been a focus on renewables and on distributed generation and on conservation and reducing pollution and our dependence on foreign oil. You'll excuse me, I'm a former academic person. I can't resist the opportunity to use a teachable moment. So one of the first projects that Barry and I and the committee were involved in was the purchase of the street lights. Instead of paying rent for those fixtures year after year and buying them several times over, we own them. The latest wrinkle on that is they're being converted to LED, which is a great energy saver. And the Cape Light Compact Energy Efficiency Program has been heavily involved in Harwich in the installation of energy efficiency lighting in the community center and at Brooks Library and other kinds of things. And we have 2 green buildings in town, some of which would have come about whether CVEC existed or not, both our new police station and the new Monomoy Regional High School, which, by the way, will be one of the entities able to purchase part of the excess power that's produced here, because this will generate more power than the municipal load. So a lot of these efforts over the last few years have culminated in this project, and it's of great benefit to the town, as Peter has outlined. CVEC sponsored a lot of projects. I don't know how this project would have happened without CVEC. Dennis project represents the fact that it can be done, but I don't know how we would have gone about getting the financing and arranging it. But the Dennis project also demonstrates that it can't happen any faster. They've been on the same timeline, had the same problems that we have, the same financiers, the same contractors. In any case, it's been a long time coming, but think about it. The companies that won the contracts to do the construction went out seeking finance shortly after the financial meltdown. The credit markets had not been restored. And then there have been delays both with design and then with construction from NSTAR. But in fairness, recently, this summer, NSTAR started adding crews to do the physical interconnection, and one of the things that Liz has experienced is that they have been straight on the net metering. They have been advising CVEC of earlier start dates than was in some correspondence about when net metering took effect. And it took effect here on the 1st of August. Have we seen the money yet? No, but the accounting will catch up with the reality. There was also a little bit of a blip when Broadway Electric went out of business, but it was just a blip. And we've also been plagued by rumors about things that didn't turn out to be true about ACE, and there's another one surfaced recently. But let's think about it. If for some reason ACE were to go out of business the way Broadway did, somebody would buy it for cents on the dollar, and it would go on operating. There's nothing in this arrangement that requires any particular entity to exist except the town of Harwich. And I presume we're going to continue, right? You're not voting to... no, okay. So, a key word that's come up is transparency. What's transparent is the benefit of this project to the town and who was responsible for it, okay? And that was CVEC, along with the selectmen and other folks. As Barry said, we've had support ever since back when Peter was chairman of the board and charged us with going out and finding ways to employ renewable energy and save the town some money. Okay, so as the sign says, this is a cooperative project between CVEC and the town of Harwich, and it never would have got done if they had relied on the Assembly of Delegates.
Thank you for those comments.
That's why I put the suit on.
I would like to invite Liz Argo, who is our partner from CVEC, to say a few words.
I will be very brief, and I'm leaving the assembly out of it. But I would like to follow up and note that we, Cape and Vineyard Electric Cooperative, want to always point to the Cape Light Compact as the visionary entity that has put this together. And they have funded us for quite a few years. That's going to come to an end. We're going to have to stand on our own feet, but yeah, the Cape Light Compact is the originator of this whole ball of wax. I also note that we will be keeping you very well informed about when your cash should start flowing. It has been a wrestle to the ground with our utility, but we're going to get there. And the last thing I'd like to point out is that we often forget that the cooperative aspect of this through the Cape and Vineyard Electric Cooperative, this is unique. There's no other energy cooperative in this region, and there's certainly no other energy cooperative that's managed to build 28 megawatts of photovoltaics. There is no other energy cooperative that is sharing the excess net metering credits, the excess benefits, with others who can't build to the degree that the Harwiches and the Edgar Towns and the Barnstable airports can, just because they have the land. And I think that's a really wonderful model of how we can work together to share the benefits in this region. And we're going to have to start doing that more as we go forward with some of the challenges we face. And I'm glad that Harwich is one of the leaders. So with that, I hand it back to your MC, and I want to say personally thank you to Harwich too, because I worked with all of you, and you have a lot of integrity, a lot of vision, and you stuck with it. Thank you.
You can't have a ribbon cutting without a ribbon and without some cutting, so we have a ribbon. If I could invite also maybe Larry Valentine, if you'd like to join for the...
Chris has got a tie on too.
Oh, look at this ribbon.
Oh, is this patriotic?
So why don't we say 1, 2, 3, go solar?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go solar.
Some of us are better
I
than
drew the
others.
short
There
stick.
you go.
You guys are souvenirs.
Oh, I would be
So that does conclude our ceremony today. I do wish to just announce we do have some refreshments provided by our town chef. So please help yourself, and you're welcome to linger.
Thank you.